It looks like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are at war once again. Now, I did do a video on this topic way back in the day. Okay, way back in the day. Now, the Cardi B Nicki Minaj beef is been extremely deep. There's a lot of deep lore to it. It's been long running. Okay, it's pretty bad. They've been at war for ages. And to be honest, like, let's be real. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay, look, I covered this. This was what? 6 years ago. I didn't even know that this was 6 years ago, right? So these guys have been beefing for so long, okay? And let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Nicki Minaj was here first, all right? Nicki Minaj was the queen of, you know, female boss, big ass, big BBL, big, all sorts of big curves popping out left, right, and center, okay? Nicki Minaj held the crown down for the hottest, in both senses of the word, female rapper for a minute. But Cardi B kind of came in and took her spot. And I think a lot of people weren't really feeling how kind of like Cardi B was just like so wild. Nicki Minaj, she was wild, but she kind of carried herself probably, you know, a little bit more sensitively ain't the word, but she carried herself just a little bit more smoother than Cardi B. But people love Cardi B's personality. She wild, she ratchet, she unfiltered. No, she ain't giving no F's about what's going on. Okay, so this is a long running beef. So before we get to it, man, let's just have a little recap. Let's just have a little watch of this video that I did 6 years ago. I can't lie, I've low-key forgotten everything that's in this video. There's probably going to be a lot of jokes. There's probably going to be a lot of making fun. All right, if you don't know, back in the day when I used to do videos like this, okay, I'd crack a lot more jokes at the rappers' expenses. All right, but after this beef that's already been bubbling for years, okay, it's actually reignited. They've popped off on Twitter. Okay, I did show this very briefly earlier, but there's been a whole bunch of tweets. All right, their long-standing rivalry has been reignited. But before we get to that, man, let's have a little recap. Let's see what I had to say about these folks, these fools, 6 years ago, and then we can get to all of the wild and sordid updates, man. So let's see what's going on with this, man. I'm low-key. I hate watching my old videos. Look how much younger I look there. I ain't no beard, all of that. Anyway, let's take a look.
Hip-hop queen for so Women in hip-hop are like buses, not in the sense that they're large and difficult to handle, but because it felt like we waited ages for one to come along and suddenly there were two. Nicki Minaj managed to successfully occupy the crown of New York hip-hop queen for so long, it was only a matter of time before somebody else came along to try and get in on that finesse. When Cardi B first came on the scene, she did look a little bit like a Nicki Minaj clone. A tough female New Yorker, she sings and raps, and she has a penchant for terrible outfits. For a minute, I thought I was seeing double, and there were 4 Nicki Minaj's. Ultimately, there's not a lot of women in hip-hop, and those that finally do break through have a tough time maintaining the top spot.
Yeah, I do just realize that I wasn't showing this the whole time, man. I should have been watching the chat, god damn it.
So you'd think that once Nicki and Cardi broke through that glass ceiling, they would do whatever it took to work together, keep elevating the culture, and make the hip-hop scene a much more friendly place for female MCs to come up. Nah. What actually ended up happening between these two was one of the most petty schoolyard fights I'd ever seen, since 2 girls from my school had a fist fight by the bike sheds over a stolen crate of Smirnoff Ice. In fact, this whole beef came to a head in an explosive scene at New York Fashion Week where Cardi B pulled up on Nicki Minaj ready to throw those hands. That fight ended up getting blocked by Nicki's security and led to Cardi making the second most iconic shoe throw in history right after that dude stood up and pinged it with vision at George Bush. So, how did we get here? Well, apparently the whole thing started when a screenshot emerged that Nicki Minaj had liked a negative comment dissing Cardi B's freestyling skills on Instagram. Some social media users have pointed out that this screenshot is probably fake, though Cardi B has never specifically addressed this incident, but it appears that this was the nucleus of the entire beef. Later that year, female addressed a negative comment dissing Cardi B's freestyling skills on Instagram.
So this is really where this all started, allegedly, right? Nicki Minaj commenting dumbass bars on one of Cardi B's earliest things. Now, look, let's keep it real, all right? Nicki Minaj probably wasn't happy that Cardi B was coming for her spot. I mean, look, bruh. Look at them. They're so similar. It's such similar swag. And I'm not trying to disrespect Cardi B. There's plenty of space for different female MCs. You know, a lot of rappers, they got the same swag, the same sauce, the same lingo. They might be from the same area. They're both New Yorkers, man. But at the end of the day, when a little clone pops up, all right, trying to get into your trap and low-key does it better than you, it's gonna get under your skin. So Nicki Minaj lashed out all the way back then, said dumbass bars, wasn't feeling Cardi B, but this was a big mistake, okay? These two could have been getting money together. They could have been going to the top together, but sometimes these guys just feel like, yo, there ain't enough space in this town for the two of us. And from here, they just went to war. okay, for years, all right? I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's that thing. You hear people talking about all the time, like, oh, I don't fuck with this person because they're so similar to me. Like, they're so like me. I don't rock with them. Like, sometimes, like, when people hold up a mirror to your own behavior, your own antics, your own personality, like, you don't like that. And I think that's what was going on.
Instagram. Some social media users have pointed out that this screenshot is probably fake, though Cardi B has never specifically addressed this incident. But it appears that this was the nucleus of the entire beef. Later that year, female rapper, Terror Squad member, and the last person you ever want to cut in line in front of at a Domino's restaurant, Remy Ma, released a diss track dissing Nicki Minaj called Sheetha. She had some pretty harsh words for Nicki, and some of the highlights included saying that Nicki's butt implants had gone wrong, and that's why she wasn't seen in public for 3 months and couldn't hook up with Meek Mill. Now, this diss wasn't completely unprovoked. It had been assumed that Nicki was dissing Remy on her track Swallow and Make Love. Now, the Nicki Minaj-Remy beef is a whole other kettle of fish, and if you do want to know more about that, let me know in the comments because I could do a separate video on it. But for now, let's just stick with how this impacted the beef between Nicki and Cardi. Following the release of Sheetha, Remy Ma and Fat Joe appeared together on the Wendy Williams show, looking like a couple one car argument away from divorce. In that appearance, she wore a funeral outfit which was supposed to represent her having killed Nicki Minaj's career.
My grandmother told me to never speak ill of the dead.
Nicki's response was short and sweet, and all she had to do to address this beef was share the abysmal sales figures of Remy Ma and Fat Joe's Plata Promo album. That album only moved around 11,000 units and only hit 48 on the Billboard charts. Ooh. But it was in June of 2017 when this started overlapping with the Cardi B relationship, because at the Hot 97 Summer Jam concert, Remy Ma appeared on stage with a lot of other rappers and performed her song Sheetha. And not long after that, she brought out Cardi B. And Cardi B's appearance alongside Remy Ma at this show, so close to this Sheetha song that was dissing Nicki Minaj, Nicki felt like this whole thing was a personal slight towards her. It's only a few days after this that Cardi drops the massive song Bodak Yellow, aka Money Moves. As you may already know, this song ended up becoming the second time ever that a female rapper had got a solo hit at #1 on the Billboard charts. And Nicki Minaj even tweeted to congratulate Cardi. So at this point, it doesn't necessarily look like there's too much beef simmering. Following this incident, Nicki Minaj appeared on the song No Flag with fellow Migos member, Cardi B's boyfriend, and ninja that won the lottery, Offset. Nicki dropped some lines on this song that were interpreted as a Cardi B diss, potentially suggesting that she was a clone of Nicki. However, not long after the song dropped, Nicki Minaj denied that this was a Cardi B diss, saying that she'd actually wrote this song months ago and it had nothing to do with her. But not long after that, Cardi B's getting interviewed on the carpet at the VMAs, where somebody brings up the topic of industry beefs, and she says she doesn't get involved in that stuff, but she will get it popping with these hands.
Somebody got a problem with me, I don't really gotta do that whole industry beef, like, you know, like I get it popping with these hands, like the Mack trucks.
Damn, that's
She wasn't lying as well. She wasn't lying. As we're going to see, this actually resulted in physical violence, okay? So I'm giving you all of this backstory so that you understand the context of these wild tweets, but it really did lead to violence, man, and Cardi B, she stand on business.
Gangster. A few weeks after this, Cardi B appeared on the song No Limit with G-Eazy. In that song, she said, "Stop with the subs, cause I ain't Jared." This is of course a reference to the legendary Subway mascot Jared Fogle, who was able to lose 200 pounds by eating Subway and all of his credibility by diddling kids. Cardi B was pressed on this potential sneak diss in her later Breakfast Club interview, but she offered a pretty feeble excuse, saying that actually this was just a reference to girls that she was still beefing from the hood.
On the G-Eazy record, you say, "Can you stop with all the subs, bitch, I ain't Jared." Who was that directed toward?
Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? There's the thing that, yeah, people don't understand, though, that I got, like, beef with 10 bitches still in the hood, and I still be in the hood.
This seems to do the trick, and a few weeks after this, we see Nicki congratulating Cardi for her #1 on Twitter. You can't really tell from reading it whether it's a genuine congratulations or the kind of underhanded congratulations that you have to give to a rival that is surpassing you so you don't look too salty. Well, Cardi seemed to take this as genuine and sent her own reply a day later. But once we get to around October, that beef starts to simmer a little more. The song Motorsport, which features all of the Migos as well as Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, finally drops, and of course, it's a certified banger. But only a day later, internet commentator and sofa masturbator DJ Academics starts circulating a story suggesting that Nicki Minaj had no idea that this song was coming out and allegedly was fuming about being finessed by Cardi and her label. He also said that apparently Cardi had pulled strings in order to get Nicki Minaj to change her verse in order to take out a line that she felt was subliminally dissing her.
Allegedly, she ain't know she had a record coming out with Cardi B until the shit came out, or until rumors came out like a couple hours before it came out saying there was a record that was coming out, okay?
Interestingly Interestingly, Nicki didn't promote the song or acknowledge its existence at all. Only a week later does Nicki tweet some stuff about the song which seems to suggest that there was confusion about its release, only to delete those tweets later. A month after that, in November, Cardi acknowledges in a kind of underhanded way that Nicki's verse on the song indeed did actually change and that Cardi had only got involved in the song after Nicki was already on it.
When I heard the track,
Right.
her verse was in Finnish.
Man, shout out to No Jumper with the 20 gift memberships, man. Gang, that's crazy, man. Shout out to No Jumper.
Well, it's not the verse that is on right now.
Now, this is the calm before the storm. A few months go by, nothing really happens as we roll into 2018, and it's in April that the beef starts to pick up again. Initially, things look all gravy, and Cardi, in an appearance on Beats Radio, suggests that she has no beef with Nicki.
Is there something between you and Nicki, or is that just internet made up?
I just feel like it's really internet made up.
A week after that, Nicki appears on Beats One and suggests that Cardi did what she was supposed to do, but also drops some shade by essentially accusing her of lying about the whole narrative of what happened when she was forced to change her verse on that song, Motorsport.
The first interview she did after Motorsport came out, it just really hurt me. The only thing she kept saying was, oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that verse. I didn't hear that verse. She changed her verse. Like, I was like, what?
Next month at the Met Gala, they're spotted together having a chat in terrible outfits, having been brought together by designer of disgraceful shoes, Jeremy Scott. 2 days later, when Nicki is speaking on her Queen radio show, she offers some harsh words for Cardi, suggesting that maybe she shouldn't be so sensitive to criticism. Nicki continues to bury the hatchet, and it's around this time that it becomes publicly known that Cardi B is expecting a little Migo of her own. So Nicki decides to do the right thing and send her a $5,000 gift basket of baby goods. Now, I couldn't actually find specifically what gifts Nicki sent to Cardi for the baby, but after doing a little bit of research and knowing a little bit about Cardi B's ongoing associations with the Blood Gang, I can only pray that it was this charming Bompton baby grow. I'm sure Soulja Boy would be pleased. However, no amount of Bompton baby grows seem to be able to smooth this thing over. And over the course of the next month, Nicki Minaj does several different interviews with different high-profile people in the media, including ex-funny man Stephen Colbert, and that person in the office that everybody hates but always seems to get the promotion, Ebro. During a live stream chat with Ebro, Nicki seems to admit that she knows that Cardi has a problem with her, but she doesn't suggest that the beef is going any further.
I didn't know Cardi and I had an issue, but I guess we do listen to sing, and other people are singing. To me, she may have taken an issue with things that I've said, but I'm not going to bite my tongue.
But in her classic sideways fashion, Cardi B claps back on Twitter saying that she has been blocked by Nicki Minaj on all social media. So it's following these comments at New York Fashion Week when it goes down. Now apparently, Cardi approached Nicki Minaj at the event to confront her about alleged comments that Nicki had made on social media about Cardi not being able to take care of her kid. Now I couldn't actually find any proof of that comment being made, but luckily there is footage of this incident floating around on the internet. As Cardi was approaching Nicki, she was given a Bodak elbow by Nicki's security. After this, as you can see, a shouting match broke out between the two groups. Security were trying to separate them, and then came the legendary moment when Cardi B threw a shoe at Nicki Minaj. Luckily, Cardi's throwing arm wasn't too
Cardi's crazy, man. Like, you got to give it to Cardi for standing on business, man. She not scared to stand up to fools. She not scared to start an argument. She getting elbowed by the security. She really just like, bruh. She a real one. She a soldier. She a stepper, all right? And I know Nicki's got the crazy boyfriend and, the husband that has a mad bunch of cases and he on a certain, ADC on a certain list or something. But Cardi a one-man army, all right? Like Birdman.
Too strong, otherwise that would have been a bloody shoe. The next day, Cardi dropped a very mature response to this incident on her Instagram. It didn't offer any new information, but it did reaffirm the suggestion that the confrontation had happened because Cardi was upset about comments made about her ability to look after her child. She also suggested
So let's see what she said. I'll read this because I didn't actually read it in the video.
happened because Cardi didn't offer any.
So it says, I've let a lot of stuff slide. I let you sneak diss me. I let you lie on me. I let you attempt to stop my bags and F up the way I eat. You've threatened other artists in the industry, told them if they work with me, you'll stop messing with them. I let you talk big stuff about me. I addressed you once in person. I addressed you a second time in person, and every time you copped the plea. But when you mention my child, you choose to like comments about me as a mother, make comments about my abilities to take care of my daughter, is when all bets are effing off. I've worked and come too far to let anybody F with my success. Bitches talk all that stuff in their raps, but in real life, they pussy. This stuff really entertainment. Whoop-de-doo, right? That's what they're saying in the chat. Whoop-de-doo. but she stand on business and clearly, and this is going to come up later, clearly insulting Cardi B's motherhood is a surefire way to get a bloody shoe thrown at your head.
New information, but it did reaffirm the suggestion that the confrontation had happened because Cardi was upset about comments made about her ability to look after her child. She also suggested in that message that Nicki Minaj had been trying to stop her bag, which basically means mess with her money. Nicki went on to address this incident on her Beats One radio show, suggesting that actually it was her close friend, former Love and Hip Hop star and talentless hanger-on, Ra Ali, who had actually beaten up Cardi B at this event.
Ra beat you so bad that I was mad at Ra. Ra held her head and punched her like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 times, and I could hear it, and it was like I'm talking about the hardest punches you've ever heard in your life.
And just to add a little bit more salt on top of an already very salty dish, Nicki Minaj decides to address the comments that Cardi B made suggesting that Nicki had been trying to stop her bag by releasing these actually pretty decent backpacks on her online merch store that say, "Nicki stopped my bag." I'm not gonna lie, I think that's hilarious and I actually would rock one of these. So whilst the dust is settling on that original shoe throw, a few other little pieces of drama go on around this that aren't really that important but are quite amusing. One extra tidbit relates to Cardi's sister Hennessy. Yes, her name's Hennessy, and yes, Cardi's name does come from Cardi, but not a lot of people know that they actually have a half-British brother who is named Special Brew. But anyway, Hennessy accused that same woman who Nicki said had beaten up Cardi at the event, Ra Ali, of leaking Cardi's phone number onto the internet. This is interesting because it's also part of a wider pattern of behavior that apparently Nicki Minaj is known for setting her fans onto people she doesn't like. So after all this, we get to the final act and the Nicki Minaj-Cardi beef peaks when Cardi B goes on a 10-video epic Instagram rant addressing all of the stuff that's gone down.
You lie so much you can't even keep up with your fucking lies.
Now, she says there's a lot of stuff in these videos, but let me summarize the main points for you. 1, she says that she is down to throw hands with Cardi in person. 2, she denies an allegation that Nicki keeps making over and over again that Cardi has been paying radio stations to play her songs. And 3, she categorically denies the suggestion that Ra Ali beat her up at that event.
You know where to link me. We could always link up. You know who to reach out. You know, we could settle it however you want to settle it. We could talk about it or we could fight it out. I'm with whatever.
But essentially, she ends the video by saying she's tired of the whole beef, a sentiment that seems to be shared by the fans as well as Nicki Minaj herself. Nicki kinda clapped back after this, suggesting that Cardi was lying, but also making an offer for her to appear on her Queen radio show, and that kind of is where the beef dies out. That chat obviously never happened, and a few months went by and there wasn't a lot of activity in this beef. Interestingly, in February of 2019, BET actually got involved in this beef and made a tweet which both congratulated Cardi on winning an award, but at the same time adding the caption that threw shade on Nicki, saying, "Meanwhile, Nicki is being dragged by her lace front." In response to this, Nicki Minaj immediately cancelled her and Young Money's appearance at a BET event, and BET were forced to apologize. But interestingly, the day after this, Cardi was ranting on social media and actually seemed to kind of take sides with Nicki, suggesting that BET were out of order for ever making this comment.
It's not my style for people to put other people down to uplift somebody else. That's not my style, and that's not what I'm with, and I don't support that.
So after all that, that seems to be where the beef has ended up. In a beef that went from 0 to 100 back to 0 so quick and so many times, it does raise a lot of questions about the relationship between Cardi and Nicki. This intense rivalry has really captured the attention of the fans, and it does make you think, was some of it staged? Could potentially some of these beefs or some aspect of these arguments have started as publicity stunts that then bled into real life beefs? On the other hand, a lot of people on the internet have suggested that the kind of bear poking that BET and other fans had been engaged in social media just essentially served to escalate this beef and make all of the little random goings on be perceived as slights between Cardi and Nicki, and essentially stoking a beef where there actually was no drama to begin with. When you keep in mind that many of the catalysts of this beef, such as that initial comment that was supposedly liked by Nicki dissing Cardi B's freestyle, could have essentially been completely fabricated. A lot of the comments and a lot of the stuff that relates to this beef has now been deleted from social media. So it's highly possible that fans and trolls on the internet have been coming up with fake stuff to just try and make these two pit against each other and cause drama. Me personally, I find that pretty unbelievable. Almost as unbelievable some of these comments that Drake has been leaving on R. Kelly's content. Hope you enjoyed that video.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Look, that is fake, right? I used to plant these like fake little things, little hidden messages in my videos. And bear in mind, this is 2019, right? This is a long time before Not Like Us. I said, yeah, it's real, just as real as these comments Drake's been leaving on R. Kelly's posts. I put, hey, take it easy on this man who hasn't pulled a little 17-year-old girl on stage for a smooch at one time or another. Hey, also, does anyone know how to get your son to stop cussing at you in French, man? I was a savage back in the day. But anyway, okay, the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef has been legendary, okay? It's been going on for years and years and years. That video was 6 years ago, okay? And while the Cold War did kind of simmer down at a certain point, ultimately it has reignited, okay? It's gone absolutely wild on Twitter. There's a bunch of tweets between them, okay? They've been going absolutely crazy, okay? I feel like maybe it would be easier to kind of start with this article that I found, okay? These are some of the tweets, and I'm happy to go through a whole bunch of these tweets, okay? They were going absolutely wild, all right? But okay, there's an article on the cut about their beef. It kind of breaks down the whole history, and I feel like that would be an interesting way to just ease ourselves into this gap and to what's been happening between these 6 years. So it says, sorry to ask, but why are Nicki Minaj and Cardi B feuding again? Okay, it says, oh, brother. Okay, oh, brother. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are beefing again, and it's gotten really ugly. Since Monday, the two women have been going back and forth on X, hurling insults and dragging each other's children into the beef. It's really spiraled out of control, even for these two, and if you've only seen a few stray tweets pop up on your timeline, you might be confused about what's happening. Well, I bravely dove into all of the info, and I think I've figured it out. Okay, they've beefed before, they've disliked each other for years and years, okay? The feud turned physical in September 2018 at the Harper's Bazaar Icons party during New York Fashion Week. After months of arguing about Minaj's verse on the Migos track Motorsport, things exploded at this party, with Cardi allegedly throwing her shoe at Nicki Minaj, right? You probably remember the image of Cardi leaving the party with her head held high and a giant knot bulging out of her forehead. I ain't see that. Suffice to say, these two have not been on good terms since. So what resuscitated this feud? Well, from what I can tell, the mere fact of Cardi releasing her new album, I Am the Drama, is what set this whole thing off. Minaj has deleted a lot of her other tweets, but she reportedly kicks things off by tweeting $4.99, the promotional price of I Am the Drama. Nicki then tweaked the lyrics to Cardi's song Magnet and turned them into a diss. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E, 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 E. Nicki Minaj wrote, surgery, look like me. Tell the rat and tell Jay-Z, Rico fraud and perjury. All right, she's still got the bars on deck. All right. Said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E. Falling off the charts with a big belly, she continued an apparent reference to Cardi's pregnancy, running trains barefoot, still smelly. Still, you could not outsell me. Okay, that is actually savage. It then says, Cardi then hops online complaining that there's nothing more annoying than a bored bitch and tweeting cocaine Barbie, presumably a knock at Minaj. She's saying Nicki Minaj getting on Snowfall. She rocking with Young Jeezy. She about to collab with Young Jeezy and them. She then shared her own updated version of the Magnet lyrics that included a reference to Minaj's brother, Jelani Mirage, who's currently in prison after being found guilty of R-wording an 11-year-old stepdaughter. Okay, these are the tweets. Nicki Minaj clapping back at Cardi B with her own lyrics, and then Cardi B flipped on her, said her pee tastes like honeycomb. Your man has to snatch pee. Your bro be touching 12-year-olds. Oh my God, that is savage. All right, that is savage. It says Minaj continued her offensive, repeatedly calling Cardi B Barney and sharing AI images of Cardi as the purple dinosaur. Okay, eventually Cardi told Nicki to act her age, saying, why are you bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is, Cardi wrote. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. She's saying she old as hell. So that's what she says, all right? Your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake, those are the numbers you still need to be competing with, and you can't, okay? That's what she's saying. She savagely destroyed her, saying you can't, all right? Because you doing lower numbers than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the F are you comparing yourself to me for, okay? Straight savagery, right? You're saying, what do they say about each other's kids? Now, this is where it got to another level, and as we saw from that initial video, okay, these ladies don't like you playing with their kids, all right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe if Nicki's brother's babysitting, it's a different story. But anyway, all right, I'm not trying to make those sorts of unsavory jokes in this video, all right? We left that 6 years ago. Anyway, this is where things get really upsetting, all right? On Monday, Minaj tweeted, raw dogging pregnant with the fourth baby, Barney B, BV, HPV, allegedly. It's so savage. This was the final straw for Cardi, who is currently pregnant with her fourth child. Her first was Stephon Diggs. Nasty work, man. She claimed that Minaj had to go to fertility doctors because she couldn't reproduce from all those perks scrambling your eggs. Whoa. Okay, whoa. You need some scrambled eggs. We need some eggs in the chat, man. Says, all right, now this is the third tweet talking about my pregnancy. Like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't reproduce from all them perks scrambling your eggs. Not allegedly. Lord, protect my babies. Okay, she went wild with it. Right? And it says, Minaj then wrote a lengthy post denying that she had fertility issues and shaming Cardi for her pregnancies in language I honestly can't even bring myself to type here. I will happily read out all of these nefarious tweets, bro. We going low right now. She then took a serious tack, admonishing Cardi for using infertility as a jab before pivoting to juvenile insults and calling Cardi's 7-year-old daughter culture ugly. They continued to trade truly awful insults about each other's children until Wednesday afternoon when things appeared to have briefly died down. All right. Nicki said, also, let me say this, though. I never had fertility issues. It's not something to be used as a drag until you know the women who are actually living with that pain, blaming themselves. We could only imagine and pray for them, love them, uplift them, not use these women as a punchline. So I'm trying to see some of those juvenile posts. I'm definitely trying to see these unruly, awful insults that apparently the cut are too classy to share. All right. So let's take a look. That's funny, man. I ain't going to hold. That is funny. We can't say that that's not funny. That's hilarious. Barney B, tell them how you've been getting seizures from the knot. Oh, bitch, tomorrow. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. That might have to go into a thumbnail. That's wild. That is actually wild. And it says, why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in... Oh, I already read this one. It says, culture vulture, you ugly too. Talking about the child, man. That is crazy. Okay, how are you calling a child ugly? Especially when you're looking like Nicki at this big age, man. That's crazy. Okay. And then Nicki Minaj, this is the lengthy post that they didn't even want to reproduce on the cut, but I do not care. I will happily reproduce this. So this post, it says, is I'm the Barney B in the flop? Is bruh, I wish you grammar lessons for everyone. I might do a video giving out some grammar lessons, all right? Giving out some typing and grammar, some literacy lessons, because I swear some of these tweets and comments we've been reading on Reddit recently. Anyway, is I'm lying about fertility when the queen has never once seen or spoken to a fertility doctor in her life? Is I'm the one sleeping with Trade while hubby fucking sweetie and taking my big gooey hole for alimony? Gooey hole is crazy. Is I'm gonna be sued when the queen show her medical records to the courts? Oh, rock bottom nation, we win again. Desiree, I have your medical records too. Smiley face. The lawyer said we're gonna have Barney B homeless within 36 months. Praise God. Lucky we eating cake right now. Barney B, I know you don't know this, but some women plan their pregnancies. You dirty Heineken pussy twat. We don't let dudes F us while we pregnant for the next Trade who got 4 other people pregnant. You see, the devil has come to collect. You sold your soul. You made a pact, but you lost. Now hear this. You have been neutralized in the mighty name of Jesus. Every word you speak on me or mine will now curse your enablers more than your dizzy brain could ever fathom. I was pregnant for my first love, got married, and the next year got pregnant for my soulmate on purpose. You see, Barney, we planned it. Your medical records in the strip club to now look embarrassing, and your father, whelp. Anyway, you're about to shrivel up and die inside. You called... I don't want to say that. He's saying she was very disrespectful about African-American women. Now, one day, people will call your daughters those words too. That's very disrespectful. I don't want to put that on the screen too long. Anyway, I used the double protection in every relationship till I was ready. See the difference between a hoe and a queen. That was savagery. All right. Cardi B clapped back after she said culture vulture, ugly. All right. She said, bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful, and you know that. Your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son non-verbal, because you effed him up with them drugs. So you jealous of everybody's kids and their happiness, bitch. Where the F you at? Stop talking. She's trying to slide. She's trying to slide for the second time, okay? She done hit her with the shoe, all right? She went real shoe on head for real, okay? And then she followed up, you said F culture. What, bitch? F that slow-ass son that came out your pee. You was wishing so much negativity on me while I was pregnant. And look at your karma. Look at what your rotten pee produced. Now he a whole 5-year-old tippy-toeing around the house and can't spell his name. I understand why the cut didn't want to reproduce that. Now I ain't gonna hold you. That is actually wild. Was there anything TMZ posted about this? Was there anything in here that we didn't already look at? A couple other tweets that we didn't. It's actually crazy, some of the stuff that's on here, man. It's actually crazy. They kept going back and forth. Oh, my Lord. All right, let's keep going with the article. They're saying Alotto and JT involved in this. I can see how your timeline might have made it seem like it, but actually, no. In the middle of her tweets about Minaj, Cardi was also dealing with the fallout of a leaked phone call she allegedly had with Ice Spice's manager, James Rosemont Jr. That's why there's a bunch of tweets where Cardi is talking about a guy named James. Why you act so dumb, Cardi says in the alleged phone call. You don't know? I'ma show y'all. I'm not Lotto. I'ma beat her the F up. I'ma knock her the F out. Cardi later felt bad for bringing Lotto into things and posted an apology on Tuesday, adding she would privately buy her a bag. Man, what? As for JT, the City Girls rapper was going at it with Cardi's sister Hennessy. JT had been insulting Cardi, prompting Hennessy to call her a gremlin-looking bitch dying for attention. If we go any deeper in this, we'll be here all day, but all you need to know is that it doesn't really have anything to do with Cardi and Minaj. And Jay-Z caught some strays too. He's also catching strays. Jay-Z has been a target of Minaj's ire for several months now, and it seems like she was just in the mood to get him in the mix too. In the middle of her back and forth with Cardi, Nicki and Minaj accused Jay of wearing a wig. If we're being honest, this is the only kind of silver lining in this beef, because the image of Jay in the wig did make me laugh. Sorry. That's Jay-Z wigged out. I swear I seen David rocking the same wig. I ain't gonna hold you. Saying, where do things stand now? After a short break, the women picked things right back up on Wednesday afternoon. Minaj directed a post directly to Culture, who, it bears repeating, is a 7-year-old. Minaj is 42. We're going to need to see Culture hop on Twitter, man. Cardi then called Minaj a sick, pathetic loser-ass, demonic, insane bitch, and accused her of being jealous of her children, okay? Said, here you go, starting again nice and early, you sick, pathetic, loser-ass, demonic, insane bitch. I said it back in 2018 and nobody believed me that you've been talking about my child since I was pregnant. You've been jealous of my child. I had never mentioned or talked about your effing kid. It's one thing to be jealous of me, but to be jealous of my kids is insane. You're jealous of my kids because they're beautiful and freaking smart. That's why God punished you with having a slow-ass kid. You hate your child because you wish you could brag on him and his milestones, but the only thing you can brag on is hair, you effing dummy. It's crazy. All right, we are going to move on soon, but... It says, you said you were going to kick my child gums back. Didn't you say you was in New York? This past words now. Where the F you at? Because today gonna be the day I go to jail. She is actually ready to crash out. And Cardi B wrapped things up by breaking out Nicki Minaj's government name and told her plainly that she needs to get help to fix all that trauma. Okay, this is a long message. Let's read it. Dear Onika Tanya Mirage, this is my last time responding to you because this is past Twitter now. I gotta see you, but first I'm gonna tell you the truth. You said out your own mouth that the little girl in you haven't forgave your mother yet, and that's because your mum used to stay silent when your dad used to touch on you every time he hit that crack pipe. What? Whoa. Pray for Nicki Minaj's family. What the hell? I know you experienced a lot of trauma and abuse, but drugs is not going to help you. You need to go to therapy now. I'm going to let you know this today. Your husband is not stopping you from your actions because he lets you do drugs all day to numb you so he can max out your credit card. Yeah, you think I don't know? Them Queens dudes that you be letting in your house every time you kick them out be coming and spilling your tea in the hood. But I'm going to be the realest person ever to tell you, you need to get help. You need to heal that trauma. You always coming at people every time you see them happy because you've got so much trauma and pain that you want to put on others. All right? Your fans are going to gas you up while you're literally losing your goddamn mind. You don't have no friends, no family, just that man in your house that let you do drugs till you pass out so he can spend your money and buy the hood chains. I'm not throwing away my career and my endorsements going back and forth with words with a possessed drug addict. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, fighting talk. Are you exhausted? I know I am. I can't imagine either woman feels amazing right now. They've been dragged as rappers and mothers, and their children became the focal point of an ugly fight. Okay. Now let's just quickly peruse Nicki and Cardi's Twitter to see if there was anything else that we missed. Okay, because there was a whole bunch of stuff. Oh man. They've been going for a minute. They've been going for a minute. Oh my God. And she's retweeting stuff. Let's run through the retweets real quick. All right. Let's run through the real quick. This is wild. This is just 2 hours. She going and going and going and going and going. She ain't been doing nothing for the past 2 days. What? Over and over and over and over. Oh, I ain't even got time for all this. She looking fine though. But bruh. Going for days. What the hell? Like, ain't you got some music to record? Like, ain't you got something better to do than all this nonsense? Oh my God. All right, let's try and just skim over this and just see if there was anything else that we missed that was crazy. All right. She posting about how she got the most #1 songs in US history. Obviously, she's trying to send a message, let everyone know how great that she's doing. She promising the Barbs more music. All right. It's posting all of her achievements. Only female rapper to have an album sell 100K units during its 2nd week. Oh my God. All right. Can we drag again? Are we still on blackout? I got 15 minutes. All right. She denying the fertility issues. This is where it all went. Then, bruh, what? I Am the Drama, pure sales at 7,500. That can't be true. Is it really that bad? That's crazy. Wait a minute. Is that actually true? That can't be true. That's got to be 2nd week, right? See, this is the thing, right? It's like she talking all this stuff about sales, but it's like Cardi B scored her 2nd #1 album, bro. You can't hate on that. You can do everything you can to hate on that, but that's a #1 album, right? Billboard with the paywall again. We ain't even got time to look at that. But she got a whole bunch of stuff. She said, also, I know y'all don't like taking my advice until it's too late, but don't listen to that music. It has been dipped in evil spirits, and their sole purpose is to unleash the spirit of drama into your lives. We rebuke it back into the pits of hell. It shall not stand. Delete it. All right. Bruh, it's crazy. Barney B and Culture Vulture. She's saying, not today. They're saying that's the not when she got hit, elbowed in the head by a security guard. Culture Vulture, you ugly Hugh. Do something. We in New York, heavy on it. So she said, pull up. She literally said, pull up. Album flopped. P flopped. Never won a fight. Outrank you in your own gang. What? They're really gangbanging on each other. It's actually crazy. Esther F up. Shut the F up. Come fight. Sympathy baby couldn't pull 228K. Abort mission. All right. And she even went back and forth with Poetic Flacco, man. This was crazy. So Flacco posted Cardi B as a liar. She leaked that audio dissing Lotto and attacking Ice Spice. Atlantic Records is only able to claim the audio as copyright protected content. If they were the originators of the audio in possession of the original version of the audio, they have a huge lawsuit on their end. If they're not the originators, they fought fraudulently claiming the audio and taking revenue from creators. Damn, that's crazy. And then Nicki reposted Flacco and said, leaked it once Barney B started trending. Allegedly, Papa first party over. He got 4 more to go. Let's go, ho. Drop the receipts. Rico Nation. Desiree, you sent Jiggerman broke, huh? Get this bitch before I get in on your families as well. Okay, tonight happens to be the effing night. Okay, Culture Vulture and her mama a crow. So stupid to not see once Wendy ate that crow what happened. They played you to do that hex to yourself, you flop ass heavy tongue hoe. Cokie B, please don't sniff coke with a baby. 4 out of 5. Word to Carlos. I'm going to skip that one. Barney Dangerous. Bodega Barney, what up? Your sister can get that chest caved in if you pregnant with another entertainment purposes only. Lucian Elegant. Elliot, Rico Nation, I promise you, tell that dizzy hoe to stand down. I promise you. Wet a roach spray. I'ma spray it on that bitch. Disease-riddled mouth. Bunch of different sea stains on the new roach for entertainment purposes only. What the hell? All right. And then she posted her achievements, blah, blah, blah. And then she reposted this as pow, because somebody posted she doing exactly what Nicki wants her to do. She's confirming a lot of the defamatory claims that was placed by certain people whom she's now in bed with. Cardi claims to have been planted for years and used to hurt Nicki brand. That was it. Jay-Z take off that lace front. Barney and Bailey, all right, posting this this lawsuit. It's crazy. Posting this old Cardi B whiling out on Twitter or Instagram comments. She's saying, F the Vulture B-Day. Cardi can't keep trying to play into the fact that it's Papa Bear's birthday, because when it was Culture's birthday, she was literally arguing on the Shade Room and on Spaces. You do the same thing and it's not a drag, man. Nicki's attorney adding defamatory statements to the claim, oh, that bitch is about to be sleeping next to a trash can in the Bronx, man. Barney B had the whole label fly out to Cali to beg me to do a joint tour and album with her. I don't want to have to drop that recorded call. That's why all the sabotage on my tour. Drop the receipts, dumb bitch. You costing them millions with your $4 album and a $5 coupon. She's so stupid. Find me, bitch. Remember, y'all called the cops on us last time. Made them tell us we had to leave New York because you and your man was afraid for your lives? Nah, ho. Drop the receipts. Barney B. You'll be eating out the garbage cans of the Bronx in the name of Jesus soon, all right? That is it's just brazy, all right? She posting Desiree Perez. She posting all of her achievements. She is just really wilding out, all right? Just so much hate. So angry. Like, bro, you're a millionaire. Chill. Dear Culture Vulture, your mom is pregnant with another bad thing. To add to her litter, the gag is that she was jealous of a little baby boy because his hair was longer than all four of you put together. Oh, I gotta be careful, man. Trump says face ass. I'ma kick your gums back into formation. Carmel and Rat, we're not fazed by botted tweets and bot comments. All right, that's precisely why you broke now. Desiree got filters since I said she ugly. Now she uglier. Oh, bitch, Camel, let's talk about your kids today. That's on the docket. Shuffles, papers, all right? Dear Rymir, I'm sorry that Camel framed you by putting things in your car, allegedly. I think she's talking about Jay-Z now, talking about Kathy. She tweeted Kathy White. Now, if you know about my video about Jay-Z and the death of his mistress, that's what she's referring to. Aaliyah, R. Kelly, naming all of the people that locked in with Jay-Z. Stop, man, stop. That's crazy. She really wilding out. She got the whole pink-haired gang squatted up. $4.99. It's a sale on her album, man. Nicki Minaj is funny. You can't take that away from her. All right, it is funny. Listen, everybody's time is up. Hating on Charlemagne too. Hating on Billboard. Saying the Barbs, them albums better be moving up before I start cussing you out too. She was willing to turn on her own fan base, okay? Which rap dude want to get in the field today? I double dare you. All right? She's saying post a screenshot. She's posting all these pics. It's crazy. All right? It's actually crazy. So I'm just trying to see if there was anything else crazy that I didn't cover in this before we move on. We boycott every company attached to her, just like we did with BET. Every company that enabled her disgusting remarks about children and other marginalized groups for years. You got 3 days to cut ties. That's it. That is all. Enjoy your day. We've got receipts. Don't underestimate my influence. Bitch, I ain't gonna lie. I've been laughing for 24 hours straight. Who gonna bring this energy around? Good tight hole. Onika, man. They got to move around. Bruh, it's crazy. People in the chat saying she too old to be doing this, man. She's saying everybody's time is up. Okay. People think if they're federal informants, they're safe. They'll soon see God is above every government agency ever created. Billionaires obsessed with my husband for years. Mad their chest looks like shriveled up ramen in a cup that's been in a pantry for years. No matter how much Tabo they take, they looking like a prude, man. What the hell? What the hell? We read that one already, bro. They keep removing my likes on Twitter, so they saying Twitter trying to hold her down. Bruh, there's so much to it. There's actually so much to it. She hated on Jay-Z. She mad at Jay-Z. Let's get into the sabotage of my tour with Future, which then became my tour with Juice WRLD, who coincidentally died on my birthday. She ain't going to hit with her Juice WRLD conspiracy theories next too. She's saying that scary hoe knew to delete that tweet about my son. All right. Oh, my God. She's hating on TMZ now, too. She's posting all the memes. She is funny. Okay, she is actually funny. You can't take it away from her that she's funny. Okay, more and more tweets. Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career, takeoff gone. Remember, you told me you were the Beyonce of the group. I laughed so hard inside. Anyway, pay Offset his alimony, Barney B. All right. Damn. We gotta find some more. Remember when the real ones was at the video? We go up video shoot and she was outside Bodega Barney with no one caring. All right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Offset told P that you ugly. Okay. Remember when Barney B tried to get gangster with Queen Billy in the DMs? Oh, Barney B, your number is called. The devil will kick you out. Kathy White and Rymir mum died so young from such uncanny circumstances. Maybe it's just a coincidence. She's saying that Jay-Z got some hats is what she's saying there, okay? She's saying this is why they mad. Because of her. I don't think anyone's jealous of your husband, unfortunately. But Reebok canned Rick Ross for less, didn't they? She trying to get Barty cancelled, man. Nicki versus the industry. All right, she celebrated, bruh. So then Culture, come get your chain. That is crazy. Gum. Okay, Bob's peace and love. I pray for you. You've been light in my life. God bless you. All right. She got album. She got work. She got project coming 2026. Okay. Let's see if Cardi said anything else interesting. And then we're going to wrap it up and move on. All right. We're going to wrap it up and move on. Okay. She said, quiet as kept. The truth is you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years, and you've been on heavy drugs, cocaine, perks, and Xans. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have power is Kenneth Petty, but you know what happens with that Amex when you sedate it. I'm letting you know again, stop playing with my kid, bitch. You just mad because your son's favorite color is 5. Get the F on, you crackhead. Whoa. All right. I think we already read this one, right? You said you was going to kick my child gums back. Didn't you say he was in New York? Where you at? We saw that already. All right, here you go, starting again. You sick, pathetic, loser-ass, demonic, insane bitch. I said it back in 2018, and nobody believed me that you've been talking about my child since I was pregnant. You've been jealous of my child. I never mentioned or talked about your effing kid. It's one thing to be jealous of me, but my kids is insane. You're jealous of my kids because they're beautiful and smart. That's why God punished you with a slow-ass kid. I think we did read that already. But stop all this talking. Where you at? You said you was going to cave my sister chest in. We checking our DMs and I ain't seen it yet. Everybody up and waiting. Drop the Addy right now. She's saying, bitch, you want to talk about $4.99? You sold both your albums for $5, you dumb hoe. You was even selling posters and keychain bundles for your Queen album, you effing dummy. And you know I never been a bitch to cop please. That was your friend Nicki hitting up Tubby to go on an effing joint tour after he got out of jail. I ain't never got on a phone call with none of your asses. Bitch, you wish. And look at how you be talking about Rock Nation, you ungrateful bitch, when they let you off for 3 months of Tidal just so they could buy your album. Oh my God, you lying funky feet bitch. Nobody called the cops on you. Your dumbass bum man went online talking shit and doing threats while he was on probation, dummy. You was talking tough. Now you talking about find us, drop the Addy, you fake tough P-word. Bitch, you said vulture. What? We heard that one already. All right. Bitch, you've been having C stains in your mouth since you was a minor because your daddy used to do bad stuff to you. Tell the world that's why you wake up so effing miserable. You hurt and full of trauma trying to apply it to everybody else. And why the F you keep bringing up Rock Nation? I'm not even signed to them, you delusional, paranoid, coke sniffing B. Drop the Addy now and don't go tagging the feds and the police like you did 3 months ago, you pussy ass bitch. Shut the F up. Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak. I'm banging spoons because your mum couldn't put the drugs down. I'm sorry your mum not even paying attention to you on your own birthday because she's such an obsessed and dark-spirited hating hoe. I'm so sorry. Bro, trying to call me out and fight because I'm pregnant as F. You never had that energy when I see you in person. I seen you at 2 Met Galas and you never have that energy, but where the F you at? My dudes are outside right now. Where the F you at? Right? Said, bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful, and you know that. Your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son nonverbal. We heard that one around, right? Wait, bring that ass here. You talking about my father? My father never been to jail a day in his life. Go get a detective and tell him to run the records. Don't put them dirty-ass allegations from your bloodline on mine. Your daddy was a crackhead and your brother was R-wording his stepchild. You got medical records on me? Post them, bitch. You're going to have to leave me the F alone today. All right, and you let me tell you something. Let me be the last time you mention my kids before I spill the tea on yours while you're talking about ABCs. You're going to leave me the F alone today, ho. I'm sick of you. How you pressed over an album you ain't got hit in or mentioned it in, bitch. Feelings hurt because I ain't paid for no attention. You haven't even cut your effing kid's cake. Oh my God, it's 6 o'clock in LA. You must have took your first line of the day. When have I ever had a seizure? You the one that went on that award show saying that you want to call 911 after you were shaking from that drug overdose, talking about a knot. Miss, I'm standing right here. Okay. Girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter dedicating essays to me? For the love of God, go to Chuck E. Cheese. James, be for real. Oh, that's some separate thing. We don't care about this James thing. But yeah, man, she's just going crazy. She's just going crazy. I want to skip past this. I just want to make sure. I know people want me to move on, but I just want to make sure we covered absolutely everything in this video. Okay, why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in the game 6 years. We saw that one already. Nah, because I was really baking ribs and making blonde brownies, and here come this bitch bothering me again on a damn Monday. She posted the thing. Damn, she was streaming Magnet hard as hell, huh? Saying his brother touches 12-year-olds. The power I have, I make these bitches come out of rehab every time. Go to your effing room. Nothing more annoying than a bored bitch. You must have missed me, huh? Crazy, now kiss my feet. Oh my God. Cardi B looked like she got some nice feet. I'm going to hold you. All right, we'll wrap it up there, okay? But look, the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj drama has reached embarrassing new highs, embarrassing new lows. I actually can't believe some of that stuff that I was reading. I now understand why that article didn't want to reproduce some of those comments, because that was absolutely wild, okay? People saying the language is so vulgar, it's hurting their head. It is actually vulgar. There's stuff I didn't even want to read out from that, but that is it, okay? The Cardi B Nicki Minaj beef is just spiraling out of control. Who knows? Maybe they will slide. Maybe they will pull up and catch each other. They're talking about, I got more rank in the gang than you. It's absolutely crazy. But I'll update you if anything else happens with that, and we're going to move on.